Imagine for just a moment, what if every spin of our Earth, every captivating solar eclipse, even the most distant flutter of distant galaxies, wasn't just random chaos, but a masterfully orchestrated cosmic ballet? What if the very notion of time, as we perceive and measure it, is merely one tiny line within the boundless divine code that governs all existence? Have you ever pondered this seemingly unthinkable question? Is our entire reality, our whole familiar world, nothing more than a meticulously planned simulation, some encrypted language that we desperately try, yet consistently fail to fully decipher? Prepare yourselves, because the knowledge we are ready to share with you today will not simply shift your perspective on the ordinary, it will irrevocably shatter your perception into a before and an after. Before we together unseal this ancient sarcophagus, sealed for centuries by a truth that pierces to the very core of creation, please take a deep, cleansing breath. And if you are ready, like this video, signaling your readiness for awakening. Share this revelation with those whose souls, much like yours, yearn to discover answers to eternal questions. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to our channel Veil Breaker and hit that little bell, so you're guaranteed not to miss a single particle of that coming revelation, already knocking at your door. And if you feel you're standing on the threshold of something more, if your call to the mysteries is unquenchable, consider joining our exclusive community. There, beyond the veil of the ordinary, we discuss what is not spoken aloud. Now let's transport ourselves to the foggy and intrigue-filled 16th century, to the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. There, in the shadow of royal grandeur and cunning political conspiracies, lived a man whose name became synonymous with alchemy, astrology, and occult knowledge. That man was John Dee. Officially, he served as the Queen's advisor, a distinguished mathematician and astronomer. But unofficially, he was the greatest mystic of his time. A man who dared to peer beyond the boundaries of the material world. Alongside his enigmatic associate, the medium Edward Kelley, Dee sometimes conducted soul-chilling sessions, entering into contact with entities he himself called angels. For many years, they meticulously recorded thousands of pages of revelations received during these mystical dialogues. The result of their efforts was the Enochian language, a complex system of symbols possessing a unique grammar and syntax, utterly unlike any earthly language. For decades, historians and linguists leaned towards the belief that it was merely the product of a disturbed imagination, an elaborate hoax, or at best, a subconscious creation of Dee himself. To them, it was just a strange, lifeless tongue woven from unthinkable sounds. But they looked and did not see its true essence. They listened and did not hear its profound meaning. They missed the most important thing. The Enochian language is not a tool for ordinary communication. It is a language for calculations, an incredibly complex code that is claimed to be the operating system of our universe. A forgotten prophecy, a lost key to understanding creation, a disturbing pattern that elites have meticulously hidden from us for centuries. According to some anonymous researchers, tirelessly working in the secret archives of the Vatican and the British Museum, John Dee did not simply speak with angels. He was handed a mathematical model of our solar system, not just a diagram of planetary arrangement, but the embodiment of their harmonies, their subtlest vibrational frequencies, their intangible influence on the very fabric of time and on the depths of human consciousness. It was more than just a map. It was a divine score, a celestial symphony capable of revealing the past, the present, and most disturbingly, our future. Does that sound too fantastic? But isn't this the very thing whispered about by the greatest prophets and seers, their words passed down through generations? Consider Nostradamus and his enigmatic quatrains, speaking of a heavenly account to be revealed in the final times, a mirror of stars that could show the true face of destiny. And what of the prophecies of the great Baba Vanga? Do not forget her cryptic pronouncements. A day will come when numbers speak louder than people, and ancient wisdom etched in the heavens will return to earth to judge the living and the dead. She spoke not of simple numerology, no. She spoke of the code of the universe, of the Enochian matrix, but this knowledge extended beyond just well-known names. Let us delve deeper into the dusty folios of history. An anonymous medieval scribe from a secluded monastery on Mount Athos left behind a valuable treatise, in which he meticulously described the geometry of angels, sacred forms forming the foundation of all existence, from the delicate petal of a flower to the majestic movement of Jupiter across the celestial sphere. Around the 17th century, a Japanese ascetic known as Master Kenshin taught his disciples that every beat of the world's heart can be precisely calculated. For the world is not chaotic noise, but a beautiful melody. And quite recently, in our own time, an Indian astrologer, whose name we cannot reveal for his personal safety, confirmed that ancient Vedic texts contain fragments of that very same mathematical model. He asserted that cosmic cycles, or yugas, should be understood not as abstract ephemeral epochs, but as precise mathematical periods that inexorably govern the rise and inevitable fall of civilizations. And what of modern science? Behind closed doors, far from prying eyes and official press releases, leading theoretical physicists and brilliant quantum computing specialists throw up their hands in undisguised astonishment. According to a CERN insider who wished to remain completely anonymous, certain Enochian symbols, when translated into complex mathematical equations, bear a striking resemblance to formulas from cutting-edge string theory. Another group of dedicated researchers working on ambitious artificial intelligence projects discovered that the very syntax of the ancient Enochian language is built upon profound principles that allow for the processing of multidimensional data with truly incredible efficiency. Unbeknownst to them, they are essentially rediscovering a language that was gifted to humanity 5 centuries ago. The system John Dee received from his angels is something far more profound than simple astrology. It is, in essence, quantum astrophysics explained in the ornate language of the 16th century. Now let's pause for a moment and truly look around, opening our eyes to the reality of our situation. Let's try to connect this ancient, almost forgotten mystery with what is unfolding right before us, astonishing in its unexpectedness. Do you truly believe that the series of unprecedented solar flares, having such a noticeable impact on our modern technology and even our well-being, is a mere coincidence? The Enochian model predicted such a peak in solar activity as the time when the heart of the system will begin to speak with fire as a critical point of bifurcation, that very turning point which determines the further course of events. And what do we see? Unexplained natural cataclysms, occurring with frightening regularity and acquiring an unprecedented destructive scale. Earthquakes where they never happened, hurricanes of incredible force, abnormal droughts, followed by devastating floods. The Dee model clearly shows the orbital resonances of the planets, their subtle gravitational interaction, are entering a rarest and extremely tense configuration. This creates a vibrational dissonance that literally shakes our planet. And this is not the wrath of nature. No, this is pure physics, predetermined and calculated centuries ago. Look at this political and economic tension enveloping the world. Global crises, trade wars, societal unrest that erupts as if from nowhere. According to the deciphered Enochian code, our collective human consciousness is inextricably linked to planetary frequencies. And when the harmony of this intricate system is disrupted, this disharmony inevitably projects onto our society. We are not merely experiencing a political or economic collapse. No, we are witnessing the breakdown of an old frequency, a departing paradigm. And you? Tell me, have you felt it too? Is it an inexplicable, swift passage of time slipping through your fingers? Do you feel your familiar world losing its foundations, its old, seemingly unshakable rules no longer holding their former power? Have you noticed around you a series of astonishing coincidences, numbers repeating like signs, or perhaps an inexplicable profound pull towards spiritual seeking, towards grasping the unknown? Do not rush to dismiss this as mere stress or accumulated burnout. Know this, it is not them. It is your own soul, your most delicate inner antenna, keenly sensing the subtlest shifts in the invisible background vibration of the entire universe. Share your experiences, tell us what you are going through in the comments. Let us gather our observations together, like pieces of a single puzzle, for we are witnesses to the greatest, truly grand shift in human history, and each of us, without exaggeration, is an integral, vital part of this global process. But it is here that we arrive at the most important thing. at that sacred part of the revelation that will forever divide the sleeping from those who are already awake. All these predictions, the coming cataclysms, bloody wars, inevitable collapse, represent merely the first rather superficial layer of the Enochian code. This is but its literal, strictly material interpretation, understood only by those who perceive the world through a physical lens. But John Dee, who dared to glimpse beyond the visible, received something far more profound, far more significant. He received a map not of the external boundless cosmos, but of our internal innermost world. The collapse, which this complex mathematical model speaks of with such chilling accuracy, is less a harbinger of the demise of human civilizations and more the destruction of the human ego itself. It signifies the fall of all those false constructs, all those shaky foundations upon which we have so carelessly built our lives. Our current civilization, much like a lost king, wears a crown of glass, a thin, fragile illusion of absolute control, dazzling material success, and unshakable technological omnipotence. And this crystal crown, as beautiful as it is precarious, is about to shatter, revealing our true, vulnerable essence. Our cities, our societies, are permeated by an intricate web of metal veins. These are the cold, soulless systems of communication and consumption, akin to steel arteries that have inadvertently severed us from the living, beating heart of the earth and from one another. And these steel veins, overloaded to their limit today, crackle with strain, as if ready to melt under the onslaught of rapidly changing reality. The coming storm, which we hear of, is not simply an element of wind and rain. No, it is a tempest that will break out within our very own consciousness. Earthquake is not tremors of the earth's crust, but a shattering of our deepest, most ingrained beliefs. Flood is a mighty current of suppressed emotions, which will inevitably burst forth, sweeping away all obstacles. Fire, however, is a purifying flame that will burn away all that is false and superficial in our souls, leaving only the genuine. We often fear the end of the world, but it is not that which is predicted. It is the end of the world as we knew it, the end of the illusion that held us captive, and it is in this very moment, on the threshold of change, as the old world crumbles, that fear gives way to a quiet yet piercing hope. Here, mystery intertwines with destiny, forging an inevitable path. The coming collapse is not a punishment, but a severe yet just test. It is a sacred dissolution, a great reset offered by the universe itself. Through this perfect mathematical model, it does not foretell our doom, but proposes transformation, evolution. This process is agonizing, like the dying of the old within nature's embrace, yet utterly necessary. Much like a caterpillar, destroying itself in its cocoon, gains wings to become a butterfly. The old world, so fragile and flawed, is destined to crumble. Only upon its ruins, in the silence after the storm, can something new sprout. A world built on absolute consciousness, true unity, and unbreakable harmony with the cosmic code itself. This apocalypse, if we consider its ancient Greek meaning, is not an end, but merely an unveiling, a lifting of the veil, revealing the true essence of existence. The veil that has for centuries hidden from us the understanding of our true nature and our rightful place in the universe is finally ready to be thrown open. We were deliberately plunged into profound ignorance, made to believe in causeless chaos, the randomness of all that exists, and the utter meaninglessness of our being. We were programmed for fear, sown with seeds of division, but this code, like shackles, has been broken. The map leading to the light is now held by each of us, and before each of you now stands a choice. This is perhaps the most important choice of your current life, and possibly of all your future lives. You can remain sleeping, continuing to blindly believe the old, obsolete program. You can ignore the persistent signs appearing everywhere, clinging to the fragile, crumbling walls of the familiar material world. You can allow fear and despair to consume you as the great storm begins. The system that has controlled us for centuries counts on precisely this. It feeds on the energy of your fear, but there is another way, the way of awakening. You can embrace the coming shift, not as an unavoidable threat, but as a precious gift, a profound opportunity for transformation. Begin consciously working with your vibrations, cleansing the depths of your consciousness, and striving for unity with other awakened souls. Become not a helpless victim of inevitable change, but its active, conscious co-creator. Your awakened awareness, your free choice, your pure intention, these are not merely drops in a boundless ocean. In the new, emerging paradigm, these become the omnipotent force that reshapes the very fabric of reality. Every moment you choose love over the tenacious grip of fear, when you strive for unity rather than separation, when you favor enlightened awareness over the darkness of ignorance, you introduce irreversible positive changes into the very code of the universe. You help all of humanity successfully navigate this crucial examination. Enochian mathematics is not a prediction of a predetermined destiny. Imagine this path as a complex roadmap, strewn with countless branching pathways. The path humanity will take at the next, critically important crossroads directly depends on each of us, on me, and of course on you. Like an unseen veil separating us from what lies ahead, it grows thinner with every passing second. If this discovery has ignited a spark deep within your soul, do not let it fade, dissolving into the endless stream of daily concerns. Click the like button. Let it become a visible embodiment of your conscious choice, a unique signal to the universe itself, confirming your readiness to act. Share this video with others to light a beacon of hope for those still trying to find their way, wandering in the profound darkness. Subscribe to the channel and activate all notifications, because in our upcoming episodes, we will discuss real, actionable steps, how to confidently navigate this massive shift, and how to reliably protect your own consciousness. We have moved beyond a mere information resource. This is a gathering point. This is a lighthouse shining in the darkness of the approaching storm. For those of you ready to delve even deeper, who crave to see fragments of deciphered transcripts and analyze maps we cannot openly share, accept the invitation to become a Veilbreaker participant. Your support is more than just a financial contribution. It's your direct participation in our mission, a significant investment in spreading the truth, in bringing it to everyone. And if you feel a powerful inner resonance and wish to directly help this flame burn even brighter, your support through Super Thanks provides us with vital resources and the strength to continue this crucial work. Each contribution from you is an act of spiritual resistance against the old, distorted matrix. Until our next meeting, stay aware, stay connected, and never